new viewer, you subscribing to my channel
has been foreseen by the Omniscient.
Cirrus talks nothing but nonsense. But even so, HuoHuo has a sensitive heart. You, go say something nice to the girl. Yes, which is why she needs other organic beings like you to support her. Get it? Go! Rome free? Is that what you call this? This is as far as I can get from her. You think I'd be here playing house with you numbskulls if I could fly away?
If I were any other judge, you'd already be saved. Someone as nice as you wouldn't say such mean things. Only a possession would make you act like that. Still, what the heliobus said was true. I've always been shy and scared. My life's been a nightmare ever since Tail possessed me. When I was at school, people were always asking why my tail was on fire. Everywhere I went, people would notice.
Oh, so it's all my fault. If you just let me devour you at the start, I could have spared you the trouble.
Then I got into the Ten Lords Commission. Everyone there is weird, so I thought I'd found somewhere I belonged. But the job is too dangerous. I have to fight demons and ghosts and bad guys every day. I'm just not cut out for it. If I make it back alive, I'm handing in my resignation. Who thought making a heliobope with a heliobus in her tail hunt heliobi was a good idea? I'm sorry. I've been so useless. I'm glad it helped.
You hear that? Stop crying. You're useful. And your paper dolls are useful too. Oh, I've had enough of this. As soon as I swallow that coward Cirrus, I'm gonna devour this little crybaby too.
What a pity that Mr. Tail is nothing like he used to be. If we still had our old power, we could forget about this maze and devour its creator, Furynox. Your old power? Well, Mr. Tail, seems she knows nothing about your past. Little Missy, do you know why the heliobi are gathered in this abandoned garden instead of seizing human habitations? Team building? Ugh. Because over 1,000 years ago, this very garden was the site of an epic battle between the general of the Luofu and the great heliobus Ignamar. Now that the furnace is broken and the heliobi have escaped, fragments like us, who once constituted Ignamar the whole, have returned here with the desire to challenge the general again. The battle between the General and Ignamar was an earth-shaking contest of devastating proportions. Ignamar underwent countless transformations, causing floods, fires, and thunderous landslides. They were locked in a standoff. An evenly matched fight. Evenly matched? Really? The general who fought for the Luofu against the heliobus was named Tang Xiao. The Ten Lords Commission records say that Ignamar was soundly defeated by General Tang Xiao. Of course the human records would flatter their general. The great Ignamar absorbed the power of countless fellow heliobi, but ultimately underestimated human deceit. They were narrowly defeated by the general. We heliobi could never condense into physical form after that battle. We scattered into fragments and were sealed into the creation furnace. But there's an exception to everything, Mr. Tail. I thought you'd escaped to freedom. Who could have guessed you'd be sealed in this tiny Foxian girl? Humiliating.
Sealed my foot? My power was weak when I ran into this fox child. It was bad luck, nothing more.
When I was littler, I saw a ball of fire that looked like it was about to turn to embers. I felt sorry for it, so I picked it up and put it on my tail. And then, Mr. Tail tried to eat me! If the judges hadn't arrived, it would have been over!
Bah, I did no such thing! You're barely big enough to be an appetizer!
All the pain I've suffered since I met you must be retribution for my stupidity back then!
Hilarious! It's a pity Mr. Tail didn't devour you. He might have recovered his power and turned the Xianzhou upside down, just like Ignamar did. Why? Does there have to be a reason? The official answer is that the Xianzhou is sealing heliobi in a cage and forcing them to supply energy to the ship. In reality, however, we just want to fight the general and see what the Xianzhou is truly made of. We heliobi were carefree life forms, but were tainted with the illness of humanity once we came into contact with it. It's humanity's fault for having such intense emotions and desires. Now we can never return to the purity of our past. I want to be free again. I want to return to the cosmos. Mr. Tail, you don't want to regroup with the fragments? You don't want to be your tail forever? Why don't you return with me to the great beyond?
Don't get ahead of yourself, Cirrus.
That's impossible. Mr. Tail was sealed by the judges of the Ten Lords Commission. He can't escape, and neither can you. Ah! The door just opened on its own!
Less scream!
I feel much safer with you here. Still feel like I'm gonna faint, though. May the Arbiter protect us!
The courtesies have been performed. Enter, O honored guests.
Look!
Didn't I see a similar mirror when I was dragged in?
That sound. HuoHuo, this way.
What's going on? There's a voice in the mirror?